let's move on to something that we've talked about a million times on the show, but it's something we need to talk about. The mental capacity of the President of the United States of America. Have you ever known somebody who is going through, and I hope you haven't, but sadly so many of us do, that is going through Alzheimer's or dementia? Have you ever known someone in your life? You probably have. It's awful. It's awful. There's nothing to celebrate about it. But there is something people who have gone through this will know. Oftentimes, the person who's struggling with this will begin to recall things from way earlier in their life as if they happened yesterday. And it actually gets worse as they get worse, as the condition gets worse. You'll have, I'm not going to name names. It's not somebody I knew, older, as she got worse and worse and worse. When you got with her, she would tell you, when you sat down with her, she would tell you about something that happened from her teenage years, learning how to drive. And yesterday I was driving with my dad. It happens. So yes, obviously it's easy to poke fun at Joe Biden, but it's wild to watch the president, the sitting president of the United States of America, do this on camera. Here's Joe Biden recalling meeting with the French president after he got elected president, except the guy he recalled meeting died almost 30 years ago.
People have pled guilty. Right after I was elected, I went to what they call a G7 meeting, all the NATO leaders. It was in the south of England. And I sat down and I said, America's back. And Mitterrand from from France looked at me and said, how long are you back for?
Recalling a conversation he just recently had with a man who's been dead for 28 years. Don't think that's some kind of a one-off. We now have reports that at not one but two fundraisers, he recalled the exact same story. The President of the United States of America is not well. And for all the disagreements I have and as much dislike as I have for Joe Biden, he needs care. He needs rest and care. People who go through this, they can't be put in stressful situations, travel all over the place, answer questions here, give speeches there. That is the polar opposite of what someone going through this needs. People who go through this need a relaxed environment to get by. They'll choose the paint colors in these care facilities for these people specifically to try to keep things calm and relaxed. The president can't do this. Oh, and I should note, he also recalled meeting with the German chancellor who had died years earlier. This is a big problem because he's the commander-in-chief and the war drums are beating as we speak. And speaking of those war drums, I had somebody talk to me recently and they asked me, they said, Jesse, do you regret serving in the Marines knowing what we know now about Iraq and all the other stuff? Knowing what we know now, do you regret serving in the Marines? And I'll be honest with you, I'll tell you, I do not. I joined the Marines because, well, for a few different reasons. One, I needed to grow up. I was a very immature young man. Not anymore, but I was a very immature young man. I needed to grow up. I wanted to serve my country. I wanted a sense of purpose. I wanted to test myself. And my time in the Marines, including Iraq, helped me do all of those things. Just because evil men who run the country and our military lie about everything at all times doesn't mean I look back and regret it. I do not. Now, that said, there are degrees of evil. Will I allow my sons to serve if it's my decision? Remember, when they turn 18, they do what they want and nothing I can do about it. But if I have a say-so in it, will I allow my sons to serve? And look, everyone has a different answer. My answer is no, I will not. I will not allow my sons to serve in a military that is turning despicable and gross and hostile to them. I will not allow my sons to serve underneath this.
Why is diversity important to the Air Force?
Diversity is important to the Air Force
because the world is diverse.
Because without it, we're limited.
It's what makes the Air Force stronger.
When we collaborate with people from different backgrounds, we always come up with multiple solutions.
We need all diversity of thought, and we need to honor the values and opinions of everyone in the United States Air Force.
I think it's important for us to see possibility in our senior leadership, and diversity brings that to the table as well.
No, my sons will not serve under that. Everyone knows what DEI actually is. It's communism, for one. It's anti-white racism, anti-white male. I will not allow my sons to serve underneath that. But I simply won't. Why would I put my sons in that? They can serve in other ways. And let's talk about the basic competence problem. If I allow my sons to go in, their lives may very well rely upon somebody who only achieved their position because they were gay or a woman or black or whatever the case may be. So I'm going to potentially lose my sons for diversity's sake? Nah, I'm going to go ahead and pass on that. Have you seen the latest about diversity? I hope you're ready to fly the friendly skies this year. Take a listen to this little training video from the FAA.
But we're also looking at really a need across the agency to recruit and retain a diverse population of folks.
Your whole program is very heavily male dominated. It just is. And really it is white male dominated. Let's just say what it is. And so let's be willing, that is today what it is. And then let's talk about what could the future look like if we really had this program that was representative of the whole country, right? Of the whole world.
No, Angela, that's great. Honestly, those are some words that we really need to spend some time, I think, kind of digging through and thinking about.
Yeah, I want to make sure Matt Walsh gets credit for breaking that story of the Daily Wire. But look, we all woke up today to the news that two planes just collided in Boston, two JetBlue planes. By the grace of God, nobody was hurt this time. We have the story about the United plane that landed so hard, allegedly by a diversity hire pilot, that the plane is probably totaled. Collisions, near collisions, planes that all-woman flight crew in the military skidding off the runway. Communism kills, DEI kills people, and this stuff is bad. It's really bad, and it's infected every part of this society like cancer. Did you hear this from Eric Adams in New York?
Have you ever seen this much chocolate leading the city of New York? And then go down the line. Look who's here. This is representative of the city. That's why people are hating on me. You trying to figure out why they're hating on me? They're hating on me because how many of you go to church? Ma'am, this is a Matthew 21:12 moment. Jesus walked in the temple. He saw them doing wrong in the temple. He did what? He turned the table over. I went to City Hall to turn the table over. First woman police commissioner of color. First Spanish-speaking police commissioner. First Spanish-speaking correction commissioner. Go through the line of what we're doing.
Yeah, I wonder why New York City's going downhill. Have you ever seen this much chocolate? Disgusting.